Have you ever been in a situation where someone's silence speaks louder than words? It's unsettling, isn't it? You're left questioning everything, your actions, your worth, even the future of the relationship. Whether it's a potential partner who's gone quiet or someone close to you withdrawing without explanation, the void they leave behind can feel like a storm raging inside you. What do? Do you chase them, hoping to reclaim what feels lost? Do you retreat into despair, thinking it's all over? Or do you stand still, grounded like a stoic rock in the middle of the storm, unmoved by their silence? In this video, we're diving deep into how to act when they ignore you, not with desperation or emotional chaos, but with calmness, clarity, and self-mastery rooted in Stoicism. Together, we'll explore 8 transformative tactics to not just handle the situation, but to thrive in it. These aren't quick fixes. They're powerful shifts in mindset and action that will leave you stronger, more confident, and yes, more attractive in their eyes. And here's the best part. By the end, you'll not only know how to respond to being ignored, but you'll also uncover a truth that's far greater than their attention, your own inner strength. So stick around. Trust me, the best is yet to come. 1. Focus on what you can control. What's the first thing you do when someone ignores you? You might feel an overwhelming urge to take control of the situation, send another text, call again, or ask them why they're pulling away. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, can you truly control their response, their interest, their silence? Our silence. The hard truth is this: you can't. You can't force them to care. You can't make them reply or return your affection. But here's the beauty of Stoicism: you don't need to. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Instead of trying to change them, focus on what's within your control: your actions, your thoughts, and your emotions. Why let their behavior dictate your peace of mind? By choosing how you respond, you reclaim your power. When you chase after someone who's ignoring you, it sends one message: desperation. And desperation, my friend, is like bad cologne. It's off-putting and unmistakable. It pushes people further away. But what if, instead, you stood firm in your self-worth? What if you stopped pulling the rope in a game of tug-of-war they've already abandoned? Think about it. By letting go of the need to control them, you free yourself from the cycle of overthinking and second-guessing. Instead of asking, why aren't they responding? Ask, how can I show up for myself today? This shift in focus transforms the way you handle not just this moment, but any future challenges. Now you might be wondering, but won't they just move on if I stop trying? This is where trust in Stoicism becomes essential. Hope is not the same as desperation. Hope is rooted in the belief that what is meant for you will not miss you, and you don't need to beg for it. Desperation, on the other hand, clings to things that aren't aligned with your growth, sacrificing your dignity in the process. So how do you start focusing on what you can control? Take a deep breath and make a list. Write down 3 things you can do today that are entirely for you. Perhaps it's going for a walk, working on a passion project, or calling a friend who uplifts you. Each of these actions reminds you that your life doesn't revolve around their attention, it revolves around your values. When you make this shift, something incredible happens. You stop being a reactive player in their game and become the director of your own story. And here's a secret. People are drawn to those who exude a calm and self-assurance. By focusing on what you can control, you create an aura of strength that naturally attracts respect, and yes, even the attention you once craved. Let me ask you this. If you truly believe that your worth isn't tied to someone else's acknowledgement, how would you act differently today? Reflect on this question. And as we move into the next tactic, remember that every step you take to reclaim your power is a step toward freedom. Up next, we'll uncover a silent yet potent strategy that will leave them questioning their own actions while you remain composed. Let's talk about the power of silence. 2. Embrace silence as a powerful tool. When someone ignores you, the silence they create can feel deafening. Your first instinct might be to fill that void, to explain yourself, to reach out repeatedly. or to try to force a response. But have you ever considered that silence itself can be your most powerful tool? Think about it. What happens when you stop reacting? When you don't plead for answers or attention, but instead let the quiet speak for you? Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a statement, an undeniable declaration of self-respect and composure. Instead of showing desperation, it conveys confidence. It says, "I am not afraid to stand on my own." In Stoicism, silence is not passive. It's an active choice to control the narrative by not over-explaining or overreacting. When you respond with silence, you shift the energy. They expect you to chase, to fill the gap, but when you don't, it forces them to face the weight of your absence. Suddenly, they're left wondering, why aren't they reacting? Why aren't they panicking? Imagine yourself as a seasoned chess player. A reactive move would be the equivalent of sacrificing a valuable piece just to protect your ego. But a Stoic move, that's a calculated pause, a moment to think several steps ahead. Your silence is your next move. It's thoughtful, poised, and incredibly impactful. Here's the question you need to ask yourself. What does your silence say about you? Does it reveal your strength, your calm, your ability to weather their absence without crumbling? Or does it say you're waiting for them to dictate your peace? If you choose the first, you instantly regain control, not of them, but of yourself. But let's address the doubt creeping into your mind. What if they never reach out again? Why doesn't my silence give them permission to forget about me? This is where Stoicism's wisdom shines. By choosing silence, you aren't letting go of hope. You're letting go of attachment to their response. You're showing that your peace isn't dependent on their attention. And here's the fascinating part. Silence has a way of making people listen. It creates space for them to miss your voice, your presence, and the value you bring. When you step back and hold your ground, you're no longer chasing their attention, you're drawing it in. So, how do you wield silence effectively? Start small. The next time you feel the urge to send another text or demand an answer, pause. Take a breath. Walk away from the situation, even if only for a few minutes. Remind yourself that silence isn't about ignoring them, it's about prioritizing yourself. Each time you choose not to react, you're strengthening your inner discipline. And remember, silence isn't just about absence, it's about presence. While you remain silent toward them, fill that space with actions that enrich your life. Read a book, journal your thoughts, take on a creative project. The more you build yourself up during this time, the more powerful your silence becomes. Let me leave you with this. He who does not wish to be overly happy will not be unhappy. These words from Seneca remind us that silence protects your peace. By not rushing to fix what's beyond your control, you remain steadfast in what truly matters, your own well-being. Now, let's make this practical. Take a moment to reflect on a recent situation where silence could have been a better response than words. How might things have unfolded differently if you had chosen not to react? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if this resonates with you, let your actions speak louder than words by liking this video and commenting. Silence is my power. Show the world that you've embraced the Stoic art of staying calm in the storm. In the next section, we'll build on this strength by exploring how to create true independence, an essential skill that not only helps you stand tall, but makes you irresistibly magnetic. Stay with me, because we're just getting started. 3. Cultivate independence and inner strength. What does it mean to be truly independent? Not just financially or socially, but emotionally. When someone ignores you, it's easy to feel like your sense of worth is tied to their acknowledgement. But what if I told you that independence, the kind that radiates from within, is the foundation for not just surviving their silence, but thriving beyond it? Imagine yourself as a tree deeply rooted in the earth. When storms come, branches may sway and leaves may fall, but the tree remains grounded, steady, and unshaken. That's what emotional independence looks like. It's knowing that no matter how people around you behave, your roots, your self-worth, remain intact. In Stoicism, independence is a cornerstone. It's about realizing that your happiness is not dependent on external factors. especially the unpredictable actions of others. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, Seneca said, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Cultivating independence is about becoming that person. So how do you start? Begin by shifting your focus from them to yourself. This is not about selfishness, it's about self-prioritization. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What have I been neglecting in my life? Perhaps it's a hobby you've put aside, a fitness goal you've postponed, or a dream you've convinced yourself is too far out of reach. When you channel your energy into these pursuits, something remarkable happens. You stop waiting for their attention to define your worth, and instead you begin to build a life that excites you. Independence isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet confidence that says, I am whole, with or without you. But let's be honest, achieving this independence isn't easy. It requires daily effort and the courage to face uncomfortable truths. For instance, think about how often you've checked your phone for their message or replayed conversations in your mind. These habits tether you to them. To break free, you need to replace those moments with actions that strengthen your sense of self. Start small. Instead of scrolling through your phone, pick up a book or take a walk. If you feel the urge to reach out to them, redirect that energy toward a personal goal. Each time you choose yourself over the need for their validation, you reinforce your independence. It's not about cutting them out of your life entirely. It's about showing yourself that you can stand tall, even when they aren't standing beside you. This shift in mindset doesn't just benefit you, it transforms how others perceive you. Independence is magnetic. People are naturally drawn to those who seem self-sufficient, who don't seek approval but instead create their own fulfillment. Think of the people you admire most. Are they the ones constantly seeking validation, or are they the ones living boldly, unapologetically? Now ask yourself, what's stopping you from being that person? As you cultivate independence, you may notice a change, not just in how you feel, but in how others treat you. Suddenly, you're no longer the one chasing. Instead, you're the one they're curious about. They start to wonder what's keeping you so busy, what's lighting up your life. That shift isn't an accident, it's the natural result of reclaiming your power. Let me leave you with this image. Picture yourself at a party, not as someone standing on the sidelines waiting to be noticed, but as the person lighting up the room with your energy, your stories, your presence. That's independence, not needing anyone to validate your worth, because you've already claimed it for yourself. As we move forward, let's explore how to take this independence even further, transforming it into a long-term journey of growth. Because independence isn't just a destination, it's the foundation for a stronger, more resilient version of you. Stay tuned as we explore how to master the long game of self-improvement. 4. Play the long game with patience. Patience isn't easy, especially when someone's silence feels like a rejection. Every moment can stretch into an eternity. The temptation to act, whether to reach out, demand answers, or even walk away entirely, can be overwhelming. But what if the key to navigating this situation isn't action at all? What if it's about embracing patience and playing the long game? In Stoicism, patience is more than a virtue, it's a discipline. It's about enduring discomfort without losing your composure. Seneca wisely remarked, "All greatness comes from suffering long." Patience allows you to stay grounded, trusting that time will reveal the answers you seek, not by forcing outcomes, but by allowing them to unfold naturally. Consider the process of making fine wine. The vintner doesn't rush. They plant the vines, nurture them, and wait as the grapes grow, weathering storms and seasons. Only after years of care and dedication does the wine reach its full potential. Your journey is no different. The silence you're enduring, the uncertainty you're facing, is part of your process. It's refining you, deepening your roots, and strengthening your character. But how do you cultivate patience when every fiber of your being craves resolution? The first step is to shift your mindset. Instead of viewing this silence as a void, see it as an opportunity, a space to grow, reflect, and invest in yourself. Ask yourself, What can I do today that will matter a year from now, 5 years from now? Set long-term goals that stretch beyond the current situation. Perhaps it's improving your skills in your career, pursuing a creative passion, or strengthening your physical health. Each step you take toward these goals is a step away from the immediate need for validation. It's not about forgetting them, it's about focusing on yourself so intensely that their absence no longer consumes you. Imagine planting a tree. Each day you water it, care for it, and trust that it will grow. You don't dig it up to check its roots. You don't rush the process. You simply nurture it and allow time to do its work. Patience in the long game is about trusting that your consistent efforts, your growth, your resilience will yield results, even if you don't see them immediately. Of course, playing the long game doesn't mean waiting idly. It means actively building a life that fulfills you, regardless of whether they return. It means embracing the idea that your worth isn't measured by their attention, but by the value you create in your own life. And here's the irony. When you stop focusing on them and start investing in yourself, you become someone worth noticing, whether by them or by others who truly appreciate you. But what if they never come back? This is a question that haunts many people, and it's one that Stoicism answers with clarity. The long game isn't about ensuring their return. It's about ensuring your resilience, your happiness, and your peace of mind regardless of what they choose. When you play the long game, you're no longer a pawn in their narrative. You're the protagonist of your own story. Think about the future version of yourself, the one who has moved through this moment with grace and strength. What does that person look like? What have they accomplished? How do they feel about the way they handled this challenge? Visualize that version of you and let it guide your actions today. Patience isn't passive. It's an active process of building, growing, and enduring with purpose. Each moment you resist the urge to react impulsively is a victory. Each step you take toward your long-term goals is a testament to your strength. And with every passing day, you're not just waiting, you're transforming. As we continue, let's explore how reinvention, both private and public, can further solidify your independence and create a life so compelling that you'll look back and thank yourself for this journey. Stay with me, because the next step is all about becoming someone unforgettable. 5. Reinvent yourself publicly. Reinvention isn't about running from who you are, it's about embracing who you're meant to become. When someone ignores you, it's tempting to let that rejection define you. But what if, instead of shrinking under their silence, you transformed into someone so vibrant, so dynamic, that the world, and yes, even they, couldn't help but take notice? Imagine this. You're a caterpillar overlooked in the foliage, seemingly unremarkable. But within that cocoon, a transformation is happening. When you emerge, you're no longer blending into the background. You're a butterfly, impossible to ignore. Reinventing yourself publicly is about showing the world, and them, that their indifference hasn't broken you. It's fueled your evolution. In Stoicism, transformation isn't just a reaction to adversity, it's a deliberate choice. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Your reinvention isn't about proving anything to them. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable of change, growth, and becoming the version of you that you've always aspired to be. But how do you begin? Start with small but visible changes. Maybe it's updating your style, trying a bold new look that reflects the confidence you're building. Maybe it's stepping out of your comfort zone and finally pursuing that passion you've been putting off, whether it's learning a language, joining a club, or launching a project you've dreamed about. Each step you take toward reinvention sends a powerful message, not just to them, but to everyone around you. It says, I'm not waiting for your acknowledgement. I'm living fully, boldly, and unapologetically. And here's the magic. The more you pour energy into this transformation, the less you'll care about their silence. You'll be too busy creating a life that excites and fulfills you. Now, let's address a common fear. What if my transformation feels forced? Won't they see through it? Authenticity is the key here. Reinvention isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming more of who you already are. Don't reinvent yourself to fit their expectations. Reinvent yourself to meet your own. When your growth comes from a place of genuine self-discovery, it's impossible for others not to notice. Social media can be a powerful tool in this process. Share your journey, not in a way that screams, "Look at me," but in a way that invites others to witness your growth. Post about the book you've just read, the hike you conquered, or the skill you've mastered. Every update becomes a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your reinvention. And here's the irony. The more you focus on yourself, the more likely they are to notice. Not because you're flaunting your progress, but because growth is magnetic. They'll see the new energy you carry, the spark in your eyes, and they'll start wondering what's changed. But by then, you'll realize their attention isn't the prize. It's a side effect of your transformation. Let's take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you've always wanted to change or try, but fear or doubt has held you back? Write it down, commit to it, and start today. This isn't just about reinventing yourself for others, it's about creating a version of yourself that you love, respect, and admire. If this idea resonates with you, I want you to take action right now. Comment below with the phrase "one reinvent" in silence, and share one way you're planning to embrace your transformation. Let this be your declaration to the world and yourself that you're stepping into the next chapter of your life. And don't forget to like this video if it's inspired you to think differently about reinvention. Your support helps this message reach others who might need it too. Stay tuned, because in the next section we'll explore how social circles can amplify your journey, making your transformation not just visible but unforgettable. See you there. 6. Leverage social circles for visibility. Have you ever noticed how magnetic someone becomes when they're surrounded by vibrant energy? When their life is filled with interesting people, engaging conversations, and meaningful connections? It's not about showing off, it's about living in a way that naturally draws others toward you, including those who once ignored you. Your social circles are like a mirror reflecting your value to the world. When others see you engaging with inspiring individuals, thriving in your community, and contributing positively to the lives around you, it changes how they perceive you. Suddenly, you're not just someone waiting in the wings. You're the gravitational center of a thriving social universe. In Stoicism, we learned that the people we surround ourselves with shape us. Seneca advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. This isn't about impressing others or making someone jealous. It's about creating a life filled with meaningful relationships that enhance your growth, your happiness, and your confidence. So how do you leverage your social circles effectively? Start by seeking out people who uplift and inspire you. This could mean deepening existing friendships or forging new ones with those who share your interests or values. Spend time with individuals who challenge you to think differently, who support your aspirations, and who celebrate your successes. These relationships aren't just fulfilling, they're transformative. Next, be genuinely present in these interactions. Listen deeply, engage wholeheartedly. When you're fully invested in your conversations and activities, you radiate authenticity. This kind of energy is contagious, drawing others toward you and creating a ripple effect that expands your social influence. Think of your social life as a stage where your best qualities can shine. Whether it's attending a gathering, joining a club, or even participating in an online community, each opportunity to connect is a chance to display your warmth, intellect, and charm. The more you immerse yourself in these moments, the more natural it becomes to step into the role of someone who commands attention without seeking it. As you build these connections, something fascinating happens. Word travels. People notice. Even those who've distanced themselves from you may start to hear about your vibrant social life and wonder what's changed. This isn't about manipulating perceptions. It's about authentically living in a way that reflects your worth and values. But here's an important reminder. Don't fake it. Authenticity is key. Your social interactions should stem from genuine enjoyment and growth, not from a need to prove something to someone else. When you engage with others sincerely, it shows. People are drawn to realness, not performances. Imagine this. You're at a dinner party, laughing with friends, sharing stories, and genuinely enjoying the moment. Someone who once ignored you hears about your evening, not from you but from the people who were there. They begin to see you in a new light, not as someone pining for their attention, but as someone whose life is full of joy and connection. Your social circles aren't just about visibility, they're about creating a fulfilling life for yourself. They remind you that your world doesn't revolve around one person's attention. Instead, it's filled with people and experiences that enrich your journey. As we move forward, let's explore how the past, the memories you've shared, can serve as a subtle yet powerful tool to reconnect with those who've overlooked your value. Nostalgia, when used wisely, can be the spark that reignites a connection. Stay with me as we uncover this next layer of transformation. 7. Trigger nostalgia strategically. Nostalgia is a powerful force. It can transport us back to a moment of laughter, connection, or comfort, reigniting feelings we thought we'd left behind. When someone ignores you, the bridge between your current self and the version they once cared for might feel broken. But what if you could subtly remind them of what made your connection special in the first place? I think about the times you've been drawn back into a memory, a song that reminds you of a road trip, a scent that takes you to your childhood home, or an inside joke that still makes you smile. These moments are sticky. They linger. And if used thoughtfully, they can become your ally. So how do you trigger nostalgia without seeming contrived or manipulative? It's about subtlety and timing. For example, let's say there was a particular restaurant, song, or shared experience that held meaning for both of you. Casually referencing it in conversation or through a post can plant the seed of nostalgia. I came across that band we used to listen to, still such a great sound, or passed by that cafe the other day. Made me think of our long talks there. But here's the key. Drop the memory and step back. Let it simmer in their mind. Don't dwell on it or overplay your hand. Nostalgia works best when it's left to unfold naturally, allowing them to revisit those moments in their own time. In Stoicism, we're reminded of the importance of restraint. Nostalgia isn't about clinging to the past. It's about gently lighting a path back to moments of connection without losing yourself in them. You're not trying to recreate what was. Instead, you're offering a glimpse of the happiness, depth, or comfort that once existed, leaving them to decide if they want to revisit it. You might wonder, what if they don't respond to these memories? That's okay. Nostalgia isn't about guaranteeing a reaction. It's about reminding both them and yourself of what was meaningful. And if they choose to ignore it, you've still honored the value of those experiences without compromising your dignity. But let's not overlook the impact this process has on you. Reflecting on positive shared memories can help you appreciate what was good about the connection, even as you move forward. It's a reminder that your life is filled with moments worth cherishing, whether or not they're acknowledged by others. Take a moment to think about a memory that brings a smile to your face, a time when you and this person shared something truly special. What does that memory mean to you now? How does it reflect your capacity for joy, connection, and love? Nostalgia isn't just a tool for reconnection. It's a mirror reflecting your ability to create meaningful bonds. If this resonates with you, share your own experience in the comments. Tell us about a memory that still makes you smile or inspires you. Use the phrase "honor the past" to show that you're not running from your history, but embracing it as a part of your growth. And if you're finding value in this discussion, hit the like button to help others discover these insights. Nostalgia, when used wisely, can be a bridge, not just to others, but to a deeper understanding of yourself. 8. Be warm but distant. How do you strike the perfect balance between showing kindness and maintaining your boundaries? When someone ignores you, the instinct to either cut them off completely or overwhelm them with attention can be tempting. But there's another way. A middle path that keeps your dignity intact while fostering curiosity and respect. This approach is about being warm but distant. Imagine the warmth of the sun. It's life-giving, illuminating, and reassuring, but it remains distant. You can feel its glow, but you can't grasp it or control it. That's the dynamic you want to create. A presence that's warm enough to be inviting but distant enough to remain intriguing. When you're warm, you exude kindness, confidence, and calm. You respond to others with grace, showing that their actions don't disrupt your peace. But by being distant, you also set a boundary. You're not available for every call, every message, or every interaction. You engage on your terms, not theirs. This combination of warmth and distance is magnetic. It draws people in without sacrificing your independence. Consider how Stoicism views relationships. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them. Your goal is to embody this beauty, a radiant but unattainable force. You offer a glimpse of your kindness, but you remain grounded in your self-worth, refusing to depend on anyone's validation. How do you practice being warm but distant? Start by focusing on the tone of your interactions. Respond thoughtfully, but without over-investing. If they reach out, greet them with kindness, but don't dive deep into emotional conversations unless you genuinely feel it's right. Keep the interaction light yet meaningful. Show that you're happy to connect, but also make it clear that you're busy with your own life. When you're distant, it's not about playing hard to get or creating emotional walls. It's about preserving your energy. You're showing that while you value the connection, you're not waiting around for it to define your happiness. It's a subtle but powerful shift. You become someone they want to know more about, someone whose attention feels like a privilege rather than a given. Think of this dynamic like a dance. You take a step forward, showing warmth, then a step back, maintaining distance. This rhythm keeps the connection alive without tipping into neediness or aloofness. It also allows you to observe their responses. Are they engaging with your warmth, or are they still taking your presence for granted? This clarity helps you decide whether the relationship is worth your continued effort. Let me share an image with you. Picture yourself as a cat. Cats are masters of warmth but distance. They'll purr and rub against you, showing affection. But the moment they've had enough, they saunter away, leaving you wanting more. They give just enough to make you feel special but retain their independence. Emulate that energy, affectionate yet self-contained. When you embody warmth and distance, you're sending a clear message. I value myself, and I value this connection, but I will not sacrifice my dignity or self-respect. This message isn't just for them. It's a reminder to yourself of your worth. Ask yourself, how can you show kindness while maintaining your boundaries? What would it look like to radiate warmth without compromising your independence? Reflect on these questions as you navigate your interactions. You might be surprised by how this balance shifts the dynamics in your favor. As we move forward, let's consider how to amplify this presence even further by leveraging your social circles. Building meaningful connections isn't just about them. It's about creating a life that inspires and fulfills you. Stay with me as we explore how your community can become your greatest asset. When someone ignores you, it's easy to feel lost, questioning your worth or wondering what you did wrong. But as we've explored together, this experience doesn't have to define you, it can transform you. By embracing Stoic principles and these 8 tactics, you can turn their silence into an opportunity to grow stronger, more confident, and more grounded in yourself. Each step we've discussed is a building block towards self-mastery. From focusing on what you can control, to cultivating independence, to using silence as a tool of power, you're not just reacting to their behavior, you're creating a version of yourself that doesn't crumble under the weight of rejection. Instead, you rise, thriving in the space they once occupied. But let's not forget the bigger picture. These strategies are not about manipulating someone into coming back or seeking validation from others. They're about reclaiming your peace and understanding your worth. You don't need to chase someone who doesn't see your value. True strength lies in knowing that your worth isn't tied to someone else's acknowledgement. It's rooted in your actions, your thoughts, and your ability to stand strong no matter what. So here's your final challenge. Reflect on everything we've discussed. Which tactic resonates with you the most? Where can you start today? Whether it's embracing silence, reinventing yourself, or focusing on long-term goals, take that first step. Commit to yourself, not just for them, but for the incredible person you're becoming. And remember, your growth doesn't go unnoticed. Those who once ignored you may return, drawn to the calm, confident energy you've cultivated. But by then, you may realize that their attention isn't the prize you are. Thank you for being here today and for investing in yourself. If this video resonated with you, let me know by dropping a comment with the phrase, "I stand strong." Share your thoughts, your stories, and your victories, because every step you take inspires someone else to rise too. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you found these insights valuable. Together, we're building a community of individuals who embrace growth, resilience, and self-mastery. Share this video with someone who might need it, and let's spread the power of Stoicism far and wide. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and keep becoming the best version of yourself. You've got this.